I'm Trevor. This is Juan. We're here. So let's do this.
Like the worst intro ever.
I know. I have nothing, man.
You sick. I'm telling you, you're sick.
I'm not sick today. It's just the allergies are acting like crazy right now.
Because you're sick.
No, it was this fucking weather, man.
You're sick, and they want to be talking fucking game shit for 15 minutes, but your body's all messed up. Whatever.
Listen, we're going to do this. We're professionals, like unlike something I know. But yeah.
Okay. All right. So this will be. It's not gonna be a shorter episode, but we're not gonna have as much to talk about than before. But still gonna be here for a little while. We have 4 topics in line, and let's just get this going right now. So, see this Revis and Sherman Twitter beef they've been going on for about a week.
I don't know why this is happening. Honestly, like Revis, what was the point of even talking shit for? Like,
I really don't know.
Like, what was the point of this? Richard Sherman's going to the Super Bowl with a division rival, which is
the third time.
The third time. I know Seattle fans not too happy about that. He's going to the Super Bowl, not only just as another team, but with the 49ers. It must really suck for them. So I don't understand what was the point of him even coming at him like that, saying, "Oh, you're not playing." First of all, he's playing. Didn't he have like an Achilles tear? He had a serious injury he had, so he's kind of like revolved his game now. So it's like
they both have
exactly. So he pretty much did the same thing you did, Revis. So why are you coming at him for? Why?
I don't understand. He's criticizing his way of play, which I remember this happening when he was in his prime in Seattle. Richard Sherman, they were complaining, "Oh, you only stays at one side. You don't play real defense." What are you talking about? He shuts down an entire half of the field. Like, what are you talking about? You throw at him, you're fucked. When do you see him get beat up? Never. So then, why are you criticizing someone because they don't roam the field? See, me personally, if I had to choose someone, I would choose Revis. I like the roaming thing. That's what Stephon Gilmore is one of my favorite players. For that reason, he travels the field. I like that. But it doesn't mean that Richard Sherman is any less better than anyone else because he stays on one side of the field. That's kind of ridiculous and very ignorant.
Yes, sir. It is.
Very ignorant. They want to go on, like, the stats, for example. The stats looking like it's not Richard Sherman's favor anyway. He's played 11 less games, has 35 interceptions, and that's, well, how many less? That's, I can't do math. That's 6 more than Darrelle Revis. He has 1 more forced fumble, even though who cares because they're corners. And 2 more tackles for a loss. Again, who cares, they're corners. But that means he's able to get a little more physical than you, if anything. They will have the same amount of interception returns. Richard Sherman's going to be in 3 Super Bowls. He's 1-1 currently. But on the postseason, he has more pass defenses, but albeit 4 more games. And has 1 more interception than you, albeit 4 less games. Well, stats do go into Sherman's favor with his less superior play, quote unquote. But they're both Hall of Famers. Like,
yeah, they are.
They're both the best. They're the 2 best corners in this generation, 1 and 2, 1A, 1B. So that whole argument is stupid. But I do prefer the roaming guy than the guy who stays in one spot. Just saying. But that's just my preference. I'm not saying one is better than the other. But hey, well, good question is whose peak was better, like 2013 Sherman versus 2009 Revis. Ooh, that's a debate.
That is a debate, and honestly speaking, I would have to say Sherman.
You think it's Sherman?
Sherman in 2013 was on a whole league of his own. Don't be wrong, Revis. They called Revis Island for a reason because that was, man, he literally was 2009, especially 2009.
That's what I'm saying. That's the you couldn't throw at him.
Throw at him. Him. And that Jet defense literally held them, carried them.
They were number 1 in pass defense that year. And I don't even think it was close.
Carried them to the Cowboys championship game. And like I said, listen, had they had a decent quarterback, they probably would have won one of those Super Bowls. Probably. Had they had a decent quarterback, you know what I'm saying? They had everything else. That was perfect. Great offensive line, great running game. Receivers were pretty decent. Braylon Edwards, and he had Santonio Holmes. God damn.
Not in 2009.
No. Braylon Edwards was 2009, right?
Yeah.
Braylon Edwards. Who was the other one?
I don't have a clue. So they were missing someone. Hence why they got Santonio Holmes next year.
You're right. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I have no idea who was.
So that's what they're missing. But they also had Dustin Keller too. He was a decent tight end. So
they're really good. They were really good. Jericho Cotchery.
Cotchery?
Yeah, Jericho Cotchery. Yes,
that's your number 2 receiver. That's a problem. Same thing with Braylon. Braylon's your number 1 receiver. That's a problem. Yeah. But hence again, why they got another number 2 receiver because Santonio Holmes sucked too. But screw this. The Jets aren't important. Why are we talking about the Jets? That hurts my feelings.
The point is, Revis, there was no need for this. Why did you even do this?
There wasn't.
You know, right? So Sherman's going to the Super Bowl, and you're retired. So who cares?
Yeah, retired. Yeah, and he might have another ring. Well, anyway,
yes.
So that brings us to talk about Super Bowls. Another expatriate, well, not another, but a expatriate is going to the Super Bowl this year also at QB at Jimmy Garoppolo. And one of the storylines that has already got sprouted, media week hasn't even happened yet, and already a storyline popping up is that the Patriots should have kept him and let Brady go, which is what people swear Belichick, like conspiracy theories swear Belichick gave up Jimmy Garoppolo for damn near free just so he could prove a point. And I think that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but that's what everybody's saying. So the question, which is a stupid question, and I'm here to debunk that right now.
Okay.
Was it a mistake keeping Brady and trading away Jimmy Garoppolo? Because, in all honesty, the fact is they both couldn't stay in the team. One of them had to go. Either one had to go or one has to get traded because we can't afford both Tom and Garoppolo for 2018. So
are we really asking this question?
That's that they already been talking about that for a year.
I bet you ESPN said some stupid shit like that.
And that is gonna be asked about and talked about in media week this week. So that's gonna be a thing.
Oh my god!
So
a waste of a question.
This is the stupid. I know this is the stupidest thing that anyone's ever freaking said, because Tom went to Super Bowl 2017 and Jimmy just got traded about a few weeks before that. So he got traded halfway through. So let's paint this picture, and let's say that we didn't trade Garoppolo or gave him an extension and Brady hit the brakes after that 2017 Super Bowl loss, or if we even get to Super Bowl, because the locker room would have been all types of shamble because there's that whole corporate QB that was going on. They knew Tom was leaving, so we don't even know we get to Super Bowl at that point. But let's say in the first world we do and we want to lose in Philly, all that, blah, blah, blah. And then Tom hits the brakes and we keep Garoppolo and extend him. All right. So what happened in San Francisco was that he was okay for those first 3 or 4 games he played in 2018, and then his knee ripped. So if everything would have stood the same, we would have no quarterback at 2018, and we wouldn't have our 6th championship. So let's get that away. Now, let's go in a perfect world and say that he doesn't rip his knee and he continues the kind of production he had in those first 3 games, 2.5 games. No, 1.5 game in 2016, because that's exactly what everybody's sucking him about, for a game and a half. Because he got hurt against Miami week 2 in 2016. So all of you swear he's nice for that stretch of time, but he only played a game and a half. Keep that in mind. But anyway, Let's say he had that same production. So, and we won 12, right? We always won 12 games.
Yeah.
12 games.
12-4, yeah.
We're second seed. Kansas City does all they shit, whatever. Okay. There were 2 marquee games that season that was tough, and we needed every bit we can get. And those were against the Kansas City Chiefs, both of them. You're going to sit there and tell me right now that Garoppolo, especially the last one, Garoppolo was going to win not one, but both of those games? Because we needed to win all 12 games because Houston was on our ass for second seed. So if we would have lost an extra game, Houston more than likely, I believe, probably would have been second seed, not first. I mean, not third. So we might have had to play an extra game with Garoppolo. So you're telling me that we were going to beat Kansas City both times. The first time, okay, we at home. So let's say we do. Okay. So at Arrowhead, you saw that game and you saw how all that unfolded. Are you telling me right now that Garoppolo was going to win that game? Garoppolo was going to do that masterful overtime drive that Tom Brady done all so many times before. He was going to replicate that exact same drive and win that football game against Cojones. Are you sure about that? Are you sure that Garoppolo was going to do that? No, he was not going to do that. So then what the hell is this notion that Belichick made a mistake of trading him away or did it on purpose or whatever to spite everyone else? We won a Super Bowl the following year.
Yeah.
He was in the hospital and we went and won the Super Bowl. So where is this notion coming from? What the hell is this? What is this stupidity that's going on? We're gonna have to hear about this for a week. We've been hearing about this for a year. Honestly, it really has been.
Yep.
But hello, no, we did not make a mistake. We have 6 rings. We have the tie for the most rings in NFL history because of that guy. Telling me Garoppolo is gonna make that throw to Gronkowski if he would have beat Kansas City? You sure? I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm not sure. So, Patriots fans. Oh, this is Patriots place, by the way. I don't mean to say that's been 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's Patriots. You'll see in the title, whatever. But yeah, Pass Nation. We did not make a mistake. We have 6 Super Bowl rings.
Yes.
Regardless if Garoppolo wins now or whatever, this is irrelevant. Do you see the team that's around Garoppolo? Because he's not the reason why they're this good. He's one of, but not the. Like usually how Tom Brady is the reason we're that good. No. He's not the reason. That team is stacked. One of the more stacked teams I've probably ever seen. So that's why they do that. The same guy who only threw 9 passes last week.
8, actually. 8.
Oh, 8, sorry. I'm my bad. I overestimated. My bad. 8 passes and put up 27 in a half. Yeah, that was gonna win us at that game, Kansas City last year. That I feel like I lost 5 years of my life. Nah, fuck out of here. Stop that bull. Stop it. You ain't got anything to say, right?
You pretty much said everything I was going to say.
Yeah, like, come on, dude.
Like, really, it was so stupid for even people even ask that question. Like, first of all, 2017, who won the MVP in 2017?
Oh, yeah.
Tom Brady won the 2017 MVP.
So he still had something in the tank,
had something in the tank. Yeah, he did. 2018, that throw to Gronkowski in the Super Bowl, that pretty much set up Sony Michel for a touchdown.
Yeah.
We're not sure if Jimmy G can make that throw. Could have made him make that throw. Yeah. I don't know, man. Listen.
I don't know either.
It's just, I don't know, man. But, like I said, we personally think that Jimmy G won his money, rightfully so, because he was getting young. He was young. And he was like, listen, I want to play. And they let him go.
I feel him. I understand. I feel him.
Do I think we could have got more for him?
Hell yes.
Because San Francisco said that they wanted to offer more, but Belichick said, "Nah, just take this shit and go." But do I think we got more for him? Yes, of course. We could have been. They need the QB. They need the QB. Do you know who the 49ers QB was before Jimmy G got there? Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah, they needed that kind of bad.
Yeah.
The one thing I dislike about this whole situation that Belichick didn't ever continue to build quarterbacks at that time frame. He just kept Garoppolo and that's it, instead of trying to groom someone else. That I didn't appreciate. So as Boo-Boo on him, but don't say that keeping Brady for an extra year or 2 or even hopefully 3, because we don't know what's going to happen this year. It was a mistake. It was not a mistake.
You know what really boggles, really like have my head scratched, or like scratching my head at this point, when they drafted Danny Elting, right? And a lot of Patriot fans were saying, "Oh, this is the next appearance of Tom Brady." I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This man hasn't even played a full season as a starter when he in college. Like,
I'm pretty sure he can't throw. But
I listen. He could run. That's it. I see him.
Oh, like somebody in Baltimore.
Yeah. So that's it. And then Jarrett Stidham. We're not even sold on Jarrett Stidham.
Hell no, I'm not sold on
I'm
Jarrett
not sold on
Stidham
him either. Some of y'all maybe. I'm not sold on him. So we still need to find a quarterback.
I don't know. Ask the Jets if they sold on him with that easy touchdown they got. Well, we're just transitioning to New York. So, again, everything we talked about has a tie to the New England Patriots. Like, we talked about 2 corners who either lost to New England or lost to New England a lot and won a Super Bowl with them. We talked about a guy who was New England, and now we're going to talk about someone who, unfortunately, is a nemesis New England. So, Eli Manning's retired now.
Yes. Eli Manning, 16 years as a New York Giant, 2-time Super Bowl champion, 2-time MVPs. All against the New England Patriots.
The reason, one of the reasons, not the reason, because come on, he was kind of trash in that Super Bowl in the first one. But one of the reasons why we do not have a perfect 19-0 season.
Yes.
But, you know, I blame that more on us than them because we were so freaking cocky in that week. We really underestimated them.
We did.
I really want to punch Belichick and Brady in the face every time I think about it because, Jesus, it's to this point. That I had a friend in college, right, in 2013, and his sister was a huge Giants fan. He was Jets fan. I don't know how that worked, but whatever. Anyway, we went to her house to watch. I think Aaron Rodgers finally beat them or something like that. Beat the Giants. One of those games. Beat the shit out of the Giants, I think. But it was 2013 because Eli Manning was god awful in that year. He had like 27 interceptions. I think it was that year. But
speaking of interceptions, we get that.
So we're gonna get to all that, but. She told me, word for word and gesture for gesture, how arrogant both Belichick and Brady were during that entire media week. And they acted like that, like they didn't just beat them by 3 points 3 weeks before that, and they put up 35 on you 3 weeks before that. But apparently, it's gonna be a cakewalk. And the Giants players didn't hear that shit over there, and it was the first and the last time Brady and Belichick acted like that because of what happened that Sunday. So to me, the reason why they lost is because of that. They should have never acted that way and slept on someone who barely lost to you a couple weeks before that. That was very classless, and they honestly got what they deserve acting like that. But fuck them. Shit.
For the Giants.
Fuck those other two too. Fuck
Yeah.
Belichick and Brady too. They got me mad just thinking about it. They should have never acted that way. But anyway, back to Eli Manning.
Yes.
The biggest question about Eli Manning is he Hall of Famer? We all know he's going to get in the Hall of Fame. That's happening. It's not a question. The real question is, will he be first ballot or not?
Can I answer that question?
That is the real question.
Can I answer the question? He shouldn't. He should not be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
That's not an answer because it's not definite.
But he will.
You think he'll be a first ballot?
He
Hall of
will.
Famer. So
he
in
will.
2025. Yeah, 2025. He's going to get Hall of Fame.
He will only because of those 2 Super Bowl rings. And listen, I spoke about this on my Facebook page a couple of days ago. They were comparing Eli Manning's 2 Super Bowl rings to Roethlisberger's 2 Super Bowl rings. And a lot of people say that the Eli Manning's 2 Super Bowl rings holds more weight because of who he beat. The first Super Bowl they won, they had to go into Lambeau. They went into Lambeau in overtime, negative 18 degrees, and beat them in overtime to go to the Super Bowl. Before that, they beat the top-seeded Dallas Cowboys convincingly. Beat them pretty convincingly. They're already on the momentum already, and then they go to the Super Bowl and beat the New England Patriots. The 18-0 season over, undefeated season over. So they did all that on the road. This is all they literally won every playoff game on the road. It's number 6 seed and got it right there. In 2011, pretty much the same thing. Knock off the top seeded Green Bay Packers. They beat the 49ers only because they fumbled the ball twice in overtime.
Punt muffs.
Yeah, 2-point muffs. Yeah, still fumbled though.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
And they're going to the Super Bowl, play the Patriots again. It's only because who he beat in those 2 Super Bowls. That's why they going to consider him Hall of Famer.
All right, let me say something. This might be a hot take right now.
Okay.
The notion that Super Bowl rings mean more than other Super Bowl rings is the stupidest thing I've heard of me. A championship is a championship.
But apparently, no, hold on. I understand what you're saying. But apparently, people be like, oh, well, if Eli Manning is not a Hall of Famer, if there's a Hall of Famer, then why not Jim Plunkett? He won 2 Super Bowls with the Raiders, and he's still not in the Hall of Fame. To this day, not in the Hall of Fame. His numbers are pretty decent, only because they were in a run-first league, but it's still decent enough. He has 2 Super Bowl rings. He's not in the Hall of Fame. Not at all whatsoever. Roethlisberger beat the Seahawks, which they probably which is pretty much they proven that that game was fixed.
And he was trash.
Yeah. He was garbage. And then he played against a Arizona Cardinals team who barely made the playoffs, and this almost lost to them too. It almost lost to them.
But why is that Arizona team different from the team before that won Super Bowl? Their Arizona was not a wildcard team? No, they weren't. They won their 4th seed, but they're close enough.
They were 10-6. Yeah. Barely won their division.
Yeah,
the division was terrible that year.
And they won 30 playoff games, right?
Yeah.
You know who did that the year before that, right?
The Giants.
So then why the fuck is there a difference? They didn't win, but why is people trying to downgrade Arizona when New York Giants did the same thing the year before that? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they didn't win the Super Bowl, even though they were they were literally a toe tap catch away from winning it. But they had the same path as you, and they almost did the same thing.
So I don't understand.
So then why?
So I don't understand. But they because on Max
Kellerman trying to downgrade. I don't get
Max
it.
Kellerman said that in the other game.
He's a Giants fan, by the way.
He's a Giants fan, by the way. He said that Eli Manning's career was better than Ben Roethlisberger's.
That's the stupidest thing in my life.
And I'm like, yo, that's fucking stupid. Like, they literally.
It is Max Kellerman.
I mean, he does say a lot of stupid shit.
This is the reason why I don't watch those shows. You need to stop watching those shows. You hear that dumb shit? Like, better than Roethlisberger? What? Roethlisberger? Are you kidding me?
How many?
Roethlisberger in 3 seasons better than Eli Manning's entire career. Like, you got to be fucking kidding me with that.
Eli Manning, besides those, first of all, The Eli Manning has won 8.
And Roethlisberger made another Super Bowl, by the way. Eli Manning hasn't. Keep that in mind.
All right. Eli Manning has won 8 playoff games, right? Roethlisberger won 13 playoff games. Besides those 2 playoff runs for the Giants, they won 4 playoff games in those 2 Super Bowl runs.
And they were 0-2, I think, or 0-3,
They're
something like that.
And the other 4 playoff appearances, they were 0-4, 1 and done.
4, okay.
They were 1 and done. And then the last 5 years after that, after the second Super Bowl, 46, they went 5 straight years without making the plays postseason. And when they made the playoffs in 2016, they were 1 and done, and then missed the playoffs and haven't been playoffs ever since. At least Roethlisberger makes the playoffs every year, except for the last 2 years. But other than that, he's made the playoffs damn near every year, and at least won a playoff game. At least won a playoff game in each of those seasons. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't even know how many times he won it done. I know once was 2014. He lost to Baltimore, right?
2016, they lost to Jacksonville. No, yeah,
2017.
That's
twice. I think 2007. Those to Jacksonville. I think that's one and done.
Yeah. They were.
Because that's hilarious.
They were the wild card game. They beat them. Yeah.
I don't know. There's another time in that.
So at least 3 or 4 one and duns that Ben Roethlisberger had in his career.
Those, you see those 3 one and duns? That's more appearances than Eli had not more appearances, but you know what I'm saying. That's almost as many appearances Eli had in the playoffs. Almost. So he made like 5 times, and that's 3 times right there.
So I'm not understanding how this is, and then he's 117 and 117 to start.
He's 500.
And the only thing that they'll say, oh, Eli Manning, he's great, is that he was barely injured and he never missed a start. The only time he missed a start was when McAdoo took him out of the game in 2017.
What the fuck that gotta do anything? That don't mean nothing. And he was there. He was there and he sucked. So what's the difference? I don't care if you were there. You were trash.
I don't understand how you're a Hall of Famer and you led the league in interceptions 3 times. You and Phillip Rivers have done that 3 times in the same draft class. You did 3 times.
All right. So
I don't get it.
All right. So I got numbers. Yeah, I like numbers so much. I have a couple numbers, and I'm going to tell you there's a couple of quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame right now that people are like, how the hell they making Eli wouldn't? I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to give you an argument as to why a couple of quarterbacks are in it, and their numbers are nowhere near as good as Eli Manning. Besides the fact that some of the guys I have are in the 70s, so they will never reach 57,000 yards because they're in the 70s. They ran all the time. So you can't compare numbers between 40-year-ago quarterbacks in different eras and a guy now who's played in by and far the easiest time to throw the football in NFL history. So you cannot put numbers like that. And Eli's numbers are almost inflated to the fact that quarterbacks now, like Andy Dalton, will probably reach all those motherfucking numbers, and he sucks. Matt Ryan probably has close numbers in him, and he hasn't done shit in his career either. And at least he has an MVP. You know what I'm saying? So, and he went to a Super Bowl. He fucking choked worse than everybody else in their lives. But he's done things like that. His numbers are very identical to Eli Manning's. Hello? You know what I'm saying? And the numbers don't matter, but I'm going to give you some. First of all, Eli Manning has made only 4 Pro Bowls and has no All-Pro teams made. In 16 years that he played? From 04? No All-Pro teams made. So right there, that circles that he has never been considered one of the best in his position his entire career. That's a massive problem right there. All right? He has 3 20-plus interception seasons. I think he led them all.
He led them all to the end.
And he has 0 regular season awards. People talk about the Walter Payton Man Year Award. I'm like, that's charity. That's nothing to do with football. Fuck that got to do with football?
That's very
no, that's a beautiful award, and that means you're a great person. Thank God for you. God bless you. Cool. What's that got to do with football? So that word is meaningless in this discussion. All right. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 quarterbacks right now. I'm gonna tell you, people crushing their acceptance in the Hall of Fame, and I'm gonna tell you why they went to the Hall of Fame. First is Len Dawson. That is the Kansas City Chiefs. That last time they won Super Bowl, that was the quarterback. 50 years ago. That's the quarterback, Len Dawson. All right. So he played in the 60s and retired sometime in the 70s. He made 7 Pro Bowls. That's already more than Eli Manning already. He made 2 first-team All-Pros. That's way more than Eli Manning already. He never had a 20 interception season, and that was back in the time where people were giving them shits away like chocolate chip cookies. They were throwing 20 interceptions, and he never did that. He led the league in passing touchdowns 4 times, and he never led the league in interceptions throughout his entire career. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame. And he has Super Bowl. So that's why he's in the Hall of Fame. Looks like he's pretty much more efficient and was considered at one point in time. Mind you, he played with Johnny Unitas. That was the area he played in. He was considered one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Again, something Eli was never considered for. That's one reason why he was in it. Correct. Next, Don Fouts. Back in the 70s and 80s, he was a stats god at that time. So he made 6 Pro Bowls, more than Eli Manning, 2 first-team All-Pros, more than Eli Manning. He's won the Offensive Player of the Year award in 1982, more than Eli Manning. He's led the league in touchdowns twice, more than Eli Manning. He's led the league in yards 4 times, more than Eli Manning. And he has had 20 interception-plus seasons 5 times. I don't remember if he led the league in any of them, though. I didn't write that down. That would have been good. So he has his share of doing dumb shit and has no Super Bowls. But at least he's been considered again. He's considered, I think, still to this day, the best Chargers quarterback in NFL history, which I think is completely wrong. It should be Phillip Rivers, but that's what people say.
I'm pretty sure Phillip Rivers pretty much passed him.
I'm sure, but I think old folks probably think that. But at his time, he was considered one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL at his time. Again, Eli Manning was never doing that. Next, Sonny Jurgensen. He played in fucking old times. I think he retired in the beginning of the 70s, so he's old crap. But 5 Pro Bowls.
Jesus.
I know. 5. Oh, I forgot about this. Oh, and no, I'm gonna save that for last. He's been 5 Pro Bowls. It's more than Eli Manning. 2 first-team All-Pros. More than Eli Manning. He's led the league in touchdowns twice. Led the league in yards 5 times. He also led the league in interceptions twice. That's still one less than Eli Manning. Mind you, again, that was a time where 20 interception seasons was almost the norm. And he had 20-plus interception seasons only twice. That's still less than Eli Manning. I don't think he has Super Bowl. I don't think so.
I don't believe so.
I think he lost. I think it was in Washington. I think that was the quarterback, and he lost to Miami, something like that. I think that was that was the end of his career too. So I don't even know if he started. All right. Speaking of Miami Dolphins, Bob Greasy. That was their Don Shula perfect season, whatever quarterback right there. He made 8 Pro Bowls. That's twice as much as Eli Manning. He's made 2 first-team All-Pros. More than Eli Manning. He led the league in touchdowns just once, and he only had 20 interception season 1 time.
Was he a first ballot Hall of Famer, sir?
No. That's what I'm going to say. But so you said that, might as well go ahead. All right. Len Dawson, it took him 3 tries to get into the Hall of Fame, so he's not first ballot. Dan Fouts was first ballot Hall of Fame. Sonny Jurgensen, it took him 3 times to get into the Hall of Fame. Not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Bob Greasy, 5 times to get into the Hall of Fame. Mind you, he had a perfect season, by the way. He went 17-0. Now, Warren Moon, 9 Pro Bowls. He was 1990's Offensive Player of the Year. So, all right, so here you have twice as many Pro Bowls as Eli Manning. He was never in the first team All Pro. But remember what he played with? Montana, Dan Marino. You know what I'm saying? But even though those guys were there, I am so sure.
John Elway.
Yeah, John Elway, you know what I'm saying? Steve Young, because he's played it during that era too. But he left Steve Young there for a while. But I will guarantee you, because I was just born when he was playing. Like when he won that Offensive of the Year, 2 years before I was born. I will guarantee you he was still around a top 7 quarterback in that era. That's more than Eli Manning. How much you want to bet? I can go through Eli Manning's whole career, and not one time he will be anywhere near above a top 10 quarterback. Maybe 2011. That's probably the only year I put him a top 10 quarterback. I can probably name 10 better players in that time span between 2004 and now, and Eli Manning will not hit top 10 besides this one time. So at least Warren Moon been there. He's led the league in touchdowns once, led the league in yards twice, led the league in picks just twice. He did have 3 20 interception seasons, so it's hilarious how he has 3, and one of those times he didn't lead the league in interceptions. And at least he has above 500 win percentage. All the guys above him have a higher percentage too than Eli Manning winning, by the way. People say that winning don't count those quarterbacks. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. They are the most important motherfucking position in the field since 1920 till now. So yeah, it does matter about them winning because they control the game. Ken Stabler, speaking of Oakland, we talked about what's his face before, Jim Plunkett. That's the Oakland quarterback they put in the Hall of Fame is Ken Stabler. It took him 4 times to get there, by the way. Not first ballot.
Plunkett's not in the Hall of Fame, which is ridiculous. How he's not in the Hall of Fame?
4 Pro Bowls, which is the same as Eli Manning. He has been an all-team All-Pro once. He has an MVP award and an Offensive Player of the Year award one time in 1974. He's led the league touchdowns twice. He has 520 interception seasons, which is amazing. Yeah, 5.
God damn.
And he's threw 30 picks once. And you know what's funny about that? That 30 picks, he didn't lead the league in interceptions.
For those who think that Jameis Winston was the first player to get 30 interceptions, no, it's not true. He was the first player to get 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. Huge difference. But many people have done 30 interceptions in the season.
Yo, oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. There's someone else in this that have done it, too. We'll get there. So that's why he's in the Hall of Fame. But it took him 4 times. 4 times. And that was in the 80s. So how many people played at that point? Like Marino, Montana, and all the guys were still playing at that point. So it was easier for him to get in. That's another reason why it's hard for Eli to get in, because look at the names that are already in it. And the guys we got to deal with.
I know the defensive players. I know there's a lot of defensive players in Hall of Fame, rightfully so, because these quarterbacks don't like catching like fucking.
That's what I'm saying.
30 interceptions a season. It's crazy.
All right. So next is Roger Staubach. He got in immediately because that's Captain America.
Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, he's probably the most efficient guy by far out of everybody in this list, including Eli Manning. 6 Pro Bowls. He led the league in touchdowns just once, but he led the league in passer rating 4 times. I don't give a shit about passer rating, but it was pretty hard to get more accolades for him because I didn't need to with Roger Staubach. That's people, to this day, he's considered the best Cowboys quarterback of all time. Mind you, he played 40 years ago. And Tony Romo was a thing, Aikman's a thing, and he's still considered the best quarterback in Cowboys history. So yeah, I don't have to say anything about him. He's Hall of Fame and that's it. All right, but his numbers are way less than. Remember, he was in the Army and didn't play that long. Also keep that in mind.
The fact that Drew Pearson is still not in the Hall of
Fame is fucking. Can you see that video when they found out?
It was
broke
sad.
My heart, dude.
I was like, yo, why he's not in the Hall of Fame? It's ridiculous. But anyway, we'll continue with.
That was Roger Staubach's wide receiver.
The Immaculate Reception? Wasn't that?
Oh, the Hail Mary shit. Yeah, that's Dallas.
Yeah,
the first real Hail Mary that people know about. That was from them.
That was him.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah.
They got 2 more. Fran Tarkenton, who's, I think he is by and far considered the best Vikings quarterback of all time because they didn't get any more after him, right?
Franny.
Yeah, Fran Tarkenton, the guy who lost 4 Super Bowls. That's him. He made more Super Bowls than Eli Manning. He didn't win any of them, so who cares? I'd rather have the guy who went 2-0 than 0-4. Like, yeah, you have to win. If you're 1-3, I'll take you over the 2-0. At least you went 4 times, but you got 1. He got 0. Nah, I'll take the 2-0. But anyway, 9 Pro Bowls, which is almost his entire career.
Yeah.
He is MVP and Offensive Player of the Year in 1975. Okay, went to 4 Super Bowls. Led the league in touchdowns and yards just once. He has 3 20 interception seasons and 1 30 interception. He was the one that led the league that year.
Jesus Christ.
So it was him and Ken Stabler who had 30 interceptions. He threw 32. Fran Tarkenton. And you know what he did after he threw that many interceptions? He retired. So he knew. He's like, oh yeah, I suck. I'm done. Yeah, so it took him that long to be that trash, but there you go. Okay, so, and it took him 3 times to get to the Hall of Fame. It was the first Battle of Famer. And Kurt Warner, that is the one that people really dive into because he's a modern era day quarterback and his career wasn't the best career. However, let's go through his accolades, shall we? It took him 3 times to get to the Hall of Fame. He has the same amount of Pro Bowls, 4, like Eli Manning. He's been in the first team up poll twice. He has 2 MVPs. 2. He's been in the Super Bowl 3 times with 2 different franchises, but that has nothing to do with Eli Manning. So don't worry about the franchise part. But he has made 3 Super Bowls. And barely lost 2 of them, by the way.
He made 3 Super Bowls. 3 Super Bowls with. That's crazy.
Yeah, 3 Super Bowls. 2 with the Rams, 1 with the Cardinals. Again, almost won all of them.
All 3 of them.
He won 1, but almost won the other 2. Very close. He led the league in touchdowns twice. He led the league in yards once. He led the league in pick sixes 3 times. I had to put the bad too, so I'll put the bad. He led the league in pick sixes 3 times. That's funny. You thought Matt Schaub was the GOAT? Nah, that guy has something different to say. And he only had a 20 interception season once. And you want to know a fun fact about that 20 interception season?
He didn't lead the league.
No. That might be true. I'm not sure. But that was one of his MVP seasons.
I want to see who the second runner-up was for that season.
I don't know.
I think that had to be like 99. Had to be 99.
I think it's 99.
I think it has to be 99.
I don't think it's 2001. I think it's 99. I think you're right.
He was godly 2001.
He was 41 I think that was a 41-20. I think that's what his ratio was.
41.
That's the reason why he won MVP.
That's godlike.
I think not the 20.
Godlike and trash.
Not the 20.
That's crazy. MVP season, you had godly, but passing the football, but trash and just don't turn the ball over.
So
the point is this: Eli Manning is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Not to me, but he will get in because of those 2 Super Bowl rings. Do I think he should be a Hall of Famer at all? No. If he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame, put my boy Jim Plunkett in the Hall of Fame. Put him in, or else what we here for?
Yeah. So the comparison is that Eli Manning has those 2 runs that he barely got in the playoffs both times to begin with.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to tell you is that it's like we're comparing to someone. Kawhi Leonard is the opposite. Kawhi Leonard doesn't give a rat's ass about the regular season, but when he goes in the postseason, he's almost like the second coming of Michael Jordan.
I don't think any basketball player cares about the regular season.
No, but he doesn't do anything in it. He doesn't care. Like, he will literally take off half the season if he could. No players do that. You know what I'm saying? But he doesn't, and he doesn't give a shit. But he's a god, Rex. So he will never win an MVP award, never have any real awards because he doesn't care enough.
He'll display.
But people swear that he's a top 20 player, which he's not, because he doesn't. Basketball starts in October, not May. So you need to play throughout the whole season in order to get to that type of stature.
Correct.
This is what I'm talking about for Eli. And he only is known for 2 years of being an elite player, quote unquote. Elite and Eli, can't spell elite without Eli, right? That little joke.
Yeah, yes, I hated that joke.
That was one of the Super Bowl runs, by the way. I think it's 11s. He doesn't have any accolades, none, and not even close. If you go into anyone's mind who's lived for the past 20 years, you are not going to tell me that more than one time you thought Eli Manning was a top quarterback. Not one time. Not one. And of course, you're going to go up and tell me he played with Peyton Manning and Drew Brees and Ben Roethlisberger and Tom Brady and all that. So, what's that supposed to mean? So, what happened to this decade when it was just Brady and Aaron Rodgers? Why weren't you considered a top guy then with Roethlisberger? That's an excuse for the first half of his career. But once the second half hit, there's only like 2 or 3 quarterbacks, and then everybody else was okay after that. So why weren't you considered top 5 then? I'm just saying. Like, I don't understand it. Because you could tell me about his team was trash, and so was Breeze's. But Breeze was considered a top quarterback all those years, even despite him winning only 7 to 6 games a year. So what's the excuse? This is what I'm trying to say. You cannot tell me to say that. So how are you a Hall of Fame player and you will never considered one of the best players in the league? All the players that I just listed, at one point or another, they were considered the best in the league at some point. He was never considered that. So how can you possibly put someone in the Hall of Fame and you never thought that about them? It's not the Hall of very good. It's not the Hall of storylines. It's not the Hall of you were good twice. No, it's the Hall of consistency, and it's the Hall of you're the man. You're considered one of the men if you're in the Hall of Fame. This is the Hall of Fame in sports that matters more than any other Hall of Fame. Because basketball Hall of Fame is a joke. Who cares about that?
Baseball's a joke too.
Yeah, it is. So then
it
really is. So NFL Hall of Fame is the most prestigious one. So putting someone like that in the Hall of Fame, that doesn't do it any justice. I'm sorry. It's not the Hall of inconsistent, not the Hall of you were good twice. It's the Hall of you were good your life.
Sidebar: the Hall of Fame for the NFL has gotten kind of lazy now.
Kind of soft. They have.
Kind of soft because there's no way, impossible. You're gonna tell me that Terrell Owens was not a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Oh yeah, seriously?
Seriously? There's no way you cannot tell me that.
He's easily top 3 receiver ever because he wasn't friendly to you media assholes. He's not a Hall of Famer. Come on.
Whatever.
Come on.
It's ridiculous.
That's the one that kills me. I understand that he was a jerk, but so what the hell does that have to do with the football field? In the football field, he was destroying everyone, literally. So then, what the fuck? It was him and Randy. They owned the league at the wide receiver position all those 10 years. Like, utterly ridiculous.
But yeah. It's what it is.
So it is what it is. Damn, been 40 minutes.
I know.
Well, we'll be putting that up again. But next Tuesday, literally, we're going to have a whole episode for the Patriots project. So that means you could put like 3 or 4 games in one episode.
Fine. I'm going to do it now.
Yeah, we'll do that next week. So we didn't think we were going to take this long because we had a little Patriots thing to start off our project, but I guess we're going to hold that off for Tuesday. My bad. Well, Eli took over like he took over our Super Bowl rings. Great.
Oh, my God. So, you guys, all right, so to recap what the project is, we're going to review the Dynasty years from 2001 to the present, basically game by game from 2001 to now.
Yes, all 300 and whatever games.
Yes, which is possible we can do because we can do a whole bunch of them all at once. We're gonna do is we watch a lot of game tape, a lot of notes that have been taken.
I'm almost burnt out.
Yeah,
I took a break yesterday. I couldn't.
Yeah. So next week we're gonna review week 1 of the 2001 season.
We might recap like September.
More likely probably the entire month of September of 2001. The Patriots, the Super Bowl run from 2001.
What we'll also do is we're gonna monitor that episode, and depending how we do, we may even try to put in half to almost whole seasons if we can fit that. Because again, this is 300 plus games we're trying to do. We're trying to do this until September, which is possible. We have like 25 weeks or whatever, but I still feel like that may not be enough if we only do a 2 or 3 games of episode. I don't think it's possible. Remember, we only do one Patriots episode a week.
So we'll figure it out.
We'll figure out the scheduling, but we are gonna do this. Yeah. When September hits season 2. Our season 2 for NFL Sports Dynasty, we recap the entire Patriots Dynasty. It will happen.
Absolutely.
We'll get it done.
But besides that...
Yeah, that's the end of this episode, definitely.
Yes. But besides that, please like, share, subscribe. We are on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartradio, Google Play Radio, Stitcher Radio. We're on Twitter at Podcast Dynasty. And of course, be a part of the conversation. We will comment back and we will... Like I said, man, we doing big things here, man.
Yeah, man, this Eli Manning thing is definitely a conversation starter. So you guys want to go ahead and try to debate us? I got more research done. So
yes,
I have ammunition. So please come at me, because he's not first ballot Hall of Famer. He's barely Hall of Famer to me. I don't know he's Hall of Famer. I don't think so. I always go through the rule. If you got to think about it, you're not Hall of Famer.
True.
So that's my pick on him. But whatever, it is what it is.
All right, guys. So we'll see you next time.
Next week.
Next week.
We love you.
Peace.
Peace.